Hello, everyone. Debbie Saviano here, and
Stacey Schieffelin.
And we have Michelle Robinson as well, who's in the car. I'll tell you about that in just a second. So, welcome to LinkedIn Live. Let's talk about today. We're going to talk about women of faith, and I am so thrilled. First of all, to have my dear friend, former partner Stacey back. We're back together, and then to have our dear friend Michelle on. So, thank you for being here, whether you're live or watching the recording. It means a lot because time is valuable. I think about this every time I do a LinkedIn Live. You know, in the old day, people would come out and they'd do these long bios and they'd talk about all this stuff. And for most of us, it's kind of uncomfortable, to be honest with you, when you're getting ready to speak and they're talking about you. So here's what I always say. I can tell you all the phenomenal things that Stacey has done in her career and that Michelle has done. But what I'd rather you do is dig deep into what we're going to talk about today and then check out their LinkedIn profiles, because that tells you everything. I mean, Stacey's career in modeling, her own makeup businesses, HSN. Michelle is a singer as well as a phenomenal entrepreneur and businesswoman. So there's a lot to know about these two ladies, but I want us to talk about the topic for today. And so I encourage you to give a lot of likes and different things that have to do with what we're talking about and getting involved in the conversation. Tell us who you are and where you're from. And I'm going to be on the computer as well, but also on my phone, because, you know, we all have our phones in our hands. So welcome.
Charged and connected.
That's right, charged and connected.
Debbie's middle name.
So happy Stacey's here and so happy Michelle's here. And we're just going to talk about women of faith, because I think we've seen lately just how challenging that is sometimes in our world of social media and everything, how people judge us, their thoughts, their ideas. Now, Michelle is in her car, and we were gonna kind of hold on this, but we thought, you know what, this is reality. This is reality. Stacey and I both have something to go to after this. Michelle is in the car driving to where the event's being taken place because she's meeting with some of the people there. This is our lives, y'all. Yeah. This is what we do.
On the go.
So we're just doing it exactly how we do it. We're nothing staged. It's all real world. So, I mean, it's right, Michelle?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I wanted to start with, because I really thought about this a lot, because there's so many conversations about what you can and cannot say on social media. I think the best part about being an entrepreneur is that we can stand in our faith. We can say what we believe. We can be true to our mission of who we are and what God's purpose is for us. And so we're all of a certain age, and we have kind of three generations here. So I really want to talk about that a little bit. I think sometimes the younger people, we don't give them enough counsel with that. Stacey, I wanted you to talk about, because your girls have done a phenomenal job with this. So I'd love you to talk about Knox and Lou a little bit.
Oh, Auntie Debbie loves her Knox and Lou. Yes, our daughters, 22 and 27, very blessed that they always walked out in their faith. You'll find them on social media, more so Lou, because she's the 22-year-old who really talks about, I love Jesus. I mean, right on her Instagram, it says right there, Jesus lover. She's never, even on TikTok, she talks about her faith. And her new boyfriend, Cameron Payne, Campaign 5, if you go and look at his social media, his social media is like millions of followers. It's all about faith-based. It's all about where do we stand in youth today, being faithful in our Christian Judeo faith, whatever that looks like for you, and how do you be a person of influence, of a person that just goes and walks in the word. So it's really great, I think, when young people feel they can do that, because they're the most scrutinized. I mean, we let things roll off our back at this age. At 60, you can almost say anything to me. And I'm like, okay, one ear out the other. Oh, I really like that. No, that's not so great, but I'm not going to voice my opinion about it unless you talk about against my God. And that's different. Then we have a conversation, and it's a loving conversation. And Michelle will share a lot about that in a moment with her. But I think as entrepreneurs, it means you're already on the road less traveled. You're out there, and like no other time this season for us and what we've just been through.
Yes.
We defaulted to loneliness, a lot of us, and then others of us just said, let's get out. We crave being together. We need being together. So we often say, come, stay for the content, listen to what we have to say, but this is more about a community that Debbie's been developing, and that because there's no better way for women to get together and be allies for one another. to support, lead, lift, and launch, and really boost one another. So that's what this time for us together is going to be all about. And I can tell you, we're Jack for Jesus. so
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah, please ask your questions. There's nothing that we won't. If we have an answer for it, we'll totally give it. If we don't have the answer, we'll look for it and we'll get back to you for sure.
We're so pleased that Sue is here, and I'm glad the sound is better for you, Sue. So thank you.
Hi, Sue.
So Michelle, talk about, as far as you have 5 kiddos yourself, and talk about what you believe is important for younger women, how we show our thought, how we share our thoughts and advice for them, helping them stand in their own faith, younger generation.
Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. And I mean, I think just remembering back to when I was young, I just didn't have anybody guiding me on that journey. And I love the fact that part of what we do is so into that younger generation. And I would just say, it says your steps are ordered by the Lord. And when he's saying that you need to take steps, so it's just taking those steps. I've learned that, I might have some detours, I might have had some mistakes, but I've always kept moving forward. And it's just having that faith to move forward and know that God has you, and he's going to guide you, and he's going to give you wisdom. And even if you make a mistake, I think the biggest thing that young people, as a young person, that I didn't have was just I had a lack of confidence, and I had tremendous fear. And getting beyond that is not easy. Sometimes it takes getting up over and over and over again and realizing that no matter what, that God's going to be with you. And once you've realized that, then you're like, I can walk in those steps with such confidence, and I call it Godfidence, and just say, you know what, I'm not relying on my own self-strength, but I'm relying on the strength of God. And that's a different strength that says, you know what, he is with me no matter what. He will never fail me. He will never not be with me in these meetings, or when I have to go to that interview, or when I'm hiring a new person. He is always with us. And that's a confidence that is based on faith. It's based on a faith that says, I'm going to truly believe in a God that loves me, and he cares about me, and he's going to give me more than I could ever think or imagine.
Amen.
True.
Gail just joined us, and have the utmost respect for Gail. She's doing some incredible things on LinkedIn with politics today. So so thank you, Gail. And Gail.
Hey, Gail.
Yes, having the faith to move forward. Amen, for sure.
Faith over fear.
Absolutely. That's
not always easy.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things when you reach a certain age, and to Michelle's and Stacey's point, for younger generations to have that confidence, because it's easier when you're this age because you've seen that and you've worked through it all. There's been some really dark times in anyone's life, but the light was always that God was there with us. So, and I think that's one of the beautiful things Stacey mentioned, the community, is we have been very, very blessed and very fortunate to be amongst so many women of faith. And I think we all draw together, but
like-minded, like-hearted.
Yeah.
It's funny how you draw together and you live off the synergy of each other's faith, which is great, because if you look at it, there's no cost, there's no catch. It's just connection. And us as women.
That's really good.
Well, thank
I
you.
love that.
Thank you. Well,
I wish I had a pen.
No cost. And I'll say no cost, no catch, just connections. And that's
I love that.
Michelle, I learned that from you for years, because you've always been about that. You always support and help women and boost them and lead them. And I think at our Shine Like a Boss event is all about that. We want you to come open, ready for us to pour into you. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain, with thousands of women. I mean, just think about it. Thousands of years. If you took all the women that are going to be there to speak, how many? What 12 to 15 speakers? Is that what it is, Michelle?
Yeah, between the workshops and the main plenary speaker. Yes.
So think about all that knowledge and experience in one place for you to come and feel like, oh my gosh, I'm going to learn something. There's going to be substance. This is just not about style. It's about come, get something, take away, and then pass it on.
And we'll all learn. We'll learn from each other as well.
We're going to learn from you as well, because this is not a monologue at Michelle's events. It's a dialogue. We talk to one another, not at each other, which is, who wants to hear somebody else's story? I'm like, what's it do for me? I mean, we got to think about that after we've all been to so many conferences.
Yes.
That's why I love your event. When Debbie talks about social media and she gives you printouts and handouts and the what to do and how to do, that's when you know you've come away with something that effortlessly on your part to take part in it but all the effort on her part and her years of knowledge to support you and educate you. That's what this whole thing is about.
Because that's why people come. Michelle's having the event, and it's a God thing how we met Michelle. Just everything.
I know.
It always comes together for a reason. But we want you to take away things from that. Michelle, talk about just for a moment, if you don't mind, because again, I think this helps all of us in a way. Just a snippet, if you would. One thing that your faith has helped you through in your career. Can you think of you have so many different things you do, but one thing. Oh dear. Okay.
My faith has helped me through in my career.
Yes. One of your career choices or something within your career.
She has so many different things. So think about Michelle, when all the time people come to you and ask for help. Because that's the big thing. Either you're promoting their business, you're promoting their book, you're promoting them as a speaker.
Here's the thing. For me, there has never been anything in my career that didn't demand faith, because everything I did was I took something from nothing and made it into something. Right. And that took an act of God. I would say one of the biggest things I've ever done in my life. And the reason why it was bigger was because my faith was not as big as it is today. Right. Today I have big faith because I've seen the hand of God work over and over. But this is when, I've got 4 kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom. Oh, you're okay. You're okay. I would love to have had 5.
You have a grandbaby. You have a grandbaby.
I do have a grandbaby, and I'm the oldest of 5 kids. So, but when I was young, here I am with all these little kids, and I'm doing a radio program called The Mom Connection, and God puts it on my heart to do a magazine. And like you, Stacey, I had some modeling background. I'd been in the fashion industry, and I had such a heavy heart to see something new in the marketplace that displayed women in a way that was respectful and where they are valued.
Right.
And so this is like stepping out there was nothing like it in the market. And I had so many people say negative things. But because I knew that God had called me to it, he would equip me for it. And I'm just going to tell you, because I want to be real, that when I started, there were so many times I would just be crying because I'd be like, I just want to quit. I don't understand how to keep moving forward. And Lord, I don't have the money. I don't have the understanding, and God would just keep showing me. And it was step by step, me totally dependent on him. That magazine, I went from the first printout we did, I think we did like 2,000 copies. I had 120 subscribers, and but in my mind it was huge. We were national. I only had like 1 copy going into every store.
And Michelle, you have to tell everybody too. This was back in the day before social media.
Yeah, that was
no social media.
Connections were people that you actually touched. Yeah. It wasn't what people have today to build a business.
Oh, girl, I had to build it with no social media, and it was all word of mouth. But I built it over 9 years to 40,000 subscribers, and that really, I really feel like that was actually my education. It was where God built me up in the faith, where he showed me that I could trust him. I remember sitting in my closet on the floor because I didn't have the money to go to print for an issue. And I think, I had amazing people in my magazine. Gary Smalley at the time, he was huge. Wow. Sheila Walsh. You name it. All these big names.
All biblical.
And
ministers.
All I could think of is if I don't go to print, these people are going to think I'm a failure. I was more concerned about how I looked than what God had. And God really convicted me, and he said, whose magazine is this? Is this my magazine or your magazine? And I'm like, it's your magazine. Then let me be the one to take care of it. Trust me with this plan and purpose. And sure enough, as soon as I released it and surrendered it, God provided for it, and he continued. And I never had a problem with believing for the magazine after that. I went another 8 years just trusting God for investors, trusting God to bring the resources. So I would say that was my first big trusting God, on every level kind of thing.
And that's really about what the conference is about right. Us taking the next step in our world today and collaborating based on faith, family, and freedom. Absolutely. And I always say it's in that order. And Michelle just spoke to that. She had the faith. we as women sometimes want to control everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
all of us are like that, but we just have to hand it over.
And let me go back to, if you joined it a couple minutes late here, there's a couple of times that Michelle's screen is black. It's because she's driving. And we had talked about this in the beginning. We didn't want to not do this because this is the world we all live in. Like everyone here can relate to this. Everyone, whether it be Janice or Ann or Lynn or I want to say beautiful Supachachi. I'm so apologetic. That's a beautiful name. I don't want to mess it up. And Gail, but y'all are all here. Sue. So just know we're doing real time.
That's right.
It's real work. It's what we all do every day. So, and Ann does an incredible job. If you don't know Ann Small, she's in the Christian community and is always out there for God. So thank you for that. So Stacey, let me ask you, when it comes to your past careers, how's faith? Can you think of a certain situation?
Oh, yes. So model 22 years with 4 models in New York, 15 agencies around the world, got to see 52 countries. It was an incredible time. And like Michelle said, when we were modeling in the 80s and 90s, it was a totally different world. I mean, models were real models. And then later it became the celebrities came in and they took the covers. But in those 2 decades of the time that we were working, it was a full-time job. You were either in it or out of it. You either worked hard and traveled to every country, like I would do the collections in Paris, Rome, Milan, New York, come back, do London, and start it all over again. What do you see in those days back in the 80s and 90s? It was sex, drug, rock and roll. Even after the 70s was over, they were still living in that.
I'm so glad that's what I want. I'm so glad you're saying that because I want you to talk about that.
Yeah, that 70s, 80s, 90s, it was that influence of, oh, you can't be the in group unless you're doing all that. Well, for us, I was a designated driver. I was always invited, but everybody knew I'd sit on the back sideline. Not that I was just like begrudgingly, but I was brought up in a way that was different in my Southern Baptist religion that, you just didn't partake. I was there to do a job. Even at 19 years old, I knew that, this might not last forever. Little did I know it'd be 22 years and I was blessed to do it. But I always treated it like, what would it be like if God was sitting here watching me right now? What kind of face forward would I be for him? For that, I was always able to take my Bible to the runway shows. Girls would come up and ask me questions. I never had a fear of that, even though my confidence level, like Michelle, wasn't as strong as a lot of my counterparts.
But deep down, you knew.
But deep down, I knew, look, at the end of the day, there was no judgment. If that's what their choice was, God bless them. They knew that what their path was going to be, and I knew what mine was. But I have to say, today in business, fast forward 40 years now, that Christians manage more than half of the world's wealth. And people don't know that. Capital is of this magnitude has influence. And so a growing community of women that are in entrepreneurs, career women, you're in the C-suite, maybe you're an investor, maybe you're a fund manager. We all have experienced God's awakening in a movement like never before. And especially in these 2 years, it's either brought you really close to Christ or at least you question it for the first time in your life. And that's what this movement and this event that Michelle has been so amazing at organizing for all of us to be a part of and shine like a boss. We do need to shine like a boss. Michelle, explain what BOSS is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's important.
Absolutely. BOSS stands for building up others, sowing into others' lives, and serving. So building others, sowing and serving. And that really is what business is about. That's a lifestyle. It's not just, I go to church and I treat people like that. That's literally a lifestyle.
Well, that's the positive impact on the world that we need to make as business women, as girlfriends, or just as women that just say, I just want to come. I don't have a business. I'm not in a career. I didn't do the college track, but I want to be around like-minded women.
You want to be in a community of Christian-based women just like you, regardless of what you're doing right now.
And where your standard in life is. Yeah. Maybe you step back and said, I sold my business, I'm doing something else, or I need to find out where I need to be. How can I impact the world? Why I'm here doing good for God? So that's what this we're so excited.
Yeah,
we
can
can't
you
wait
tell?
for you guys to be a part of this event. We haven't done events in so long.
It's been 2 years.
I know. So we're excited.
Michelle is getting out and walking into her meeting, so I want to just throw this in. Stacey and Linda and I with Women's Leadership Live, March of 2020.
That's right.
We had won a national tour. I mean, cities across the country. It was huge with Joe Packin with the magazine. Everything.
We published a magazine, spent $250,000 on shrink wrap in a bus. We were doing a national tour. We get to Citigroup in Dallas.
We did 2 days. Yeah. And then the third day, we were halfway through. They come out with the announcement, COVID shut down. All that whole
year plan.
It gives me chills to this day. So it's been 2 years, but we never lost faith. We knew that there was a reason and all the different things that have happened to all of our lives. And Colleen, thank you for sharing that. Colleen was always the designated driver too during the
80s. Debbie's reading your notes. All of you guys have got such great questions and comments.
Yes, Anna's saying that I just put the link in there, but I'm not sure it's copying through, but I will come back. We'll come back and answer any questions or anything that's on there afterwards. Yes. But we will let you know what that is going to be. And I put the link up there on the top too. And Paula said her audio keeps coming in and out, and that could be.
You guys are going with me to my luncheon.
There we go. So
I'm so excited.
Us too. So let's talk about and so many people on this call here, I think, can relate because we know them personally, all of us, and we know the challenges that all of us have faced. But Stacey, I guess it was last week, you did an event. I think there's so many wonderful things going on in this country that people don't always know about. You and David and Dean hosted an event at the Star for Moms for America. Right. Share just for a moment about that because it's such an incredible group.
We were here in Frisco, Texas, and at the Dallas Cowboys country club like little set that they have here, and we were in the room, and we had probably 80 people come, and it was for Moms for America. We were awarding Doug and Jackie Deason, who are in oil and gas here, and Jackie's got a great podcast, and she's an amazing attorney in oil and gas. Amanda Schumacher from Palm Beach, she's philanthropic and all about freedom, and she has a summit that she's in charge of at the moment. And then also Glenn and Jenny Story, who own Patriot Mobile, which is a new cellular system that Dave and I switched from Verizon, and now we're on Patriot Mobile. On conservatives, and we want to be able to give our money not to the woke companies anymore. We want to give it to companies that we appreciate and respect. So we gave them an award for Moms for America about liberty and being a parent in today's society and how they've stepped up to the plate.
And how many moms across the country?
500,000. I'm on the advisory team. We're 500,000 moms across the nation. We've done a lot of litigation. We've spoken up against critical race theory. We've spoken up about boys being in girls' sports, all the things that are common sense things for us as women that we don't want our kids to participate or our daughters to lose their college scholarships because a guy comes in and he can lift weights or run faster or do whatever. So we've been on that warpath, and we have made great strides in litigation. We had 167 senators and congressmen agree with us, and we just awarded them in DC their report card that showed exactly who voted for and against the things I just spoke about. So you can take a look at that and follow us and see what we're doing. But we'd love for you to be a part of our cottage meetings across the nation in every state that we have them in. But it's a great organization led by Kimberly Fletcher. She started it in 2004. So before all of this started, she was already trying to do education in our kids across America. So we did that. And then Michelle invited me and David to speak at Liberty University. We were there this past week. And we spoke that there was 750 CEOs from around the world. Michelle had three. Wait a minute. She was on the main stage. She was a moderator for three great events and had me on one of her panels and had David on another one. And it was,
you guys did amazing.
No, you did amazing. Thank you for bringing us together. But that was Liberty University is a great university.
Isn't where I officially met Michelle
at
Liberty last year?
Okay, that's why
I just clicked on
love you.
So, Colleen, and y'all, I apologize. I'm not sure what this is. I might have to start talking to Anne about recently because it seems like we've had a lot of going in and out. So if that's the case, I'm going to find out, because for us, everything is fine here, but I'll have to figure out why that's happening for us. Michelle, I know you're at the meeting to talk with some other people about the Shine Summit. Tell the group about everyone on the call what Shine Like a Boss Summit is going to be about, and just give us a little bit of snippets.
And who, what, when, why, and
yes,
where.
Yes, all the details.
All that.
Well, ladies, more than anything, I think it's so important for us to always be reaching up, for mentors, reaching across so that we can walk with women who are in the same place, and then reaching down and helping lift other women. And that's really what Shine Like a Boss is about. It's building others, sowing, serving. So it's reaching up, finding those mentors at the conference, and you're going to have amazing women pouring into your life. It's reaching across to find women who can walk with you in the things that you're doing. How many of us just need women to walk with us, because it's a lonely road as leaders, as whether you're a manager, whether you're working, whatever your job is, you need other women who are going to come in and who are going to walk with you in that place. And especially in today's culture where there's so much isolation, especially with social media. Now people are working out of their homes. So you got that. And then we're going to reach down to the younger generation and say, hey, we're giving you the secrets to life. We're giving you the secrets to success on what really is important, which is significance. And we're going to teach you those things. And then on top of that, we're going to have lots of fun. On Friday, we do our workshops. And I'm telling you guys, that is where people's lives are changed, because you're in a smaller community of women. You've just got maybe 10 women in your group, and you're able to really ask the hard questions that are going to help you move forward, whether you're stuck, whether you're and even if you're just coming there just to receive encouragement. This is you do not want to miss this conference. I have people traveling from all over the United States to come, and there's a reason for that, because there is nothing like this right now. Women of faith connecting, communicating, lifting others, sharing with each other secrets to help them succeed. These are women who you don't find just in everyday life, going through life, because a lot of women are competitive and they're not collaborative.
Right. It's 3 days. Yeah, unfortunately.
It's 2.5 days.
2.5 days. Sorry, 2.5 days.
And the price point, y'all, and this is a tribute to Michelle, because she's gotten so many sponsors and so much support. It's only $200 for the 2.5 days. There's other things you can do in there. If you go to the website and take a look, you'll see. But it is
jam-packed.
It's jam-packed, and it's a price point that is well within 99.9% of the people who'd want to come.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And the website to check out is
ShineLikeABossSummit.com.
And I've got to go across the
Shine Like a Boss Summit.
And I'll put it also in the comments.
Oh, you're awesome, girl. Look at you.
Talk about because again, we know you're going to Nashville to speak when you leave
this
weekend.
Yeah.
Talk about
I know tomorrow.
Music people that are going to be at the summit. Lisa Daggs, talk about the musicians that are going to be there. I think that is really cool.
Oh, Lisa Daggs. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, because Lisa Daggs is off the charts, girls. She's just rising. She has some #1 hits, but she is phenomenal. And it's a blessing that I've been able to get her, that she's willing to partner with us, because she's an up and coming, but she has so much energy. Her music is so touching. We're going to be leading worship with her. I have Allison Stevens, who's been leading worship in Nashville for many, many years, another incredible music artist. And really, it's not even about their artistry as much as it is about their hearts. These are women who they're freaking, I shouldn't probably say freaking, but
you can, you're amongst friends.
they're freaking rock stars.
My granddaughter Macy, who some of you know because I post Sadie Mae's pictures on social media just a tiny bit. She has a T-shirt and it says, "I'm a mama and a Christian, but yes, I say bad words."
Well, I kept it. I didn't say anything too bad.
I was going to say that.
Hell is in the Bible. Just want to let everybody know.
But
I do say hell sometimes.
The thing with this summit that I think is so important for women to think about is there'll be so many different women there. And like Michelle said, and Stacey, if you just come in just to be nourished and just to be received and just to know you're in a community of loving women, it's for the purpose of nothing
that have been through a lot.
Yes.
It's not been an easy road. And when you hear their stories, you'll be like, gosh, they can succeed out of that. I can do what I'm supposed to be here to do.
Because they'll give tips on, I
yeah.
had this, but now you
Yeah.
can do this.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the women that are coming, because like Rebecca Contreras, this woman is running a multi-million-dollar company. She's the CEO of that company, but she came from off the streets. You know, God just gave her favor, but she learned, she used her wisdom, she grew, she changed, she kept reaching up, finding those mentors. She's worked for governors, she's worked for presidents. I mean, the woman is incredible, and you guys are going to get her for 2.5 days. And I mean, just to consult with her would probably cost at least $10,000. I mean, I'm just saying, these women I'm bringing are women who are consultants in their business, and who consult on such a high level, but they're coming to serve, to share their secrets, to say, I want to be here to lift you and make it, and so you can make a difference. Yeah, that's her book that we published, my company published. Yeah, so. And it's a fantastic book. It's, you know, from the hood to multimillionaire, you know. And then, but not just
the White House.
Yeah, to the White House, and then Debbie Saviano, but Debbie Grabinek, who is also been a CEO. She's a trauma counselor, phenomenal woman, wealth of knowledge, is going to be there. Paige Henderson has ministered to thousands. Nobody knows her name, but she has an organization that has literally helped women get past unforgiveness, guilt, the things that keep you stuck. And that's what I brought her in for, is to say, come in, you know, teach the Bible, tell us what it says about being a woman of God, so that we can have an understanding. There's so much confusion about who we are.
Yes.
And she really sets it straight. She's phenomenal. Kirby, we got a young girl coming in, Kirby Kelly. She's a little spitfire. She's 20 something years old, has hundreds of thousands of followers.
Yes.
She's 24. Yeah. 24.
Bring your daughters, bring your granddaughters.
Bring young girls. We want as many young girls. And you know what? I do want to offer that if anybody has any trouble with the financial, you know, we're open to scholarships. So, but yes, those are just a few. I'm sure there's others that I'm forgetting, but those are, you know, some of the ones off the top of my head, because there's going to be, we have a girl that's coming, Kendra Dixon. She's a barrel racer. She's going to be doing a workshop, her and Leanna, on trauma and how to get through things that are difficult so that you can overcome. Just incredible women, incredible.
And I think that's the whole point, is that no matter, as we keep saying it, but it's so true, no matter where you are,
there's
matter. Something for you.
8 years to 80, it won't matter. Yeah. There's something here for everybody. And that's what's so great about it.
I think what is so cool about this, on many levels, one is all the women who are here in the chat and the comments and who are listening live and then recorded. Stacey and I are sitting here getting ready to leave to go to 2 meetings. Michelle is in the car. Now she's at the hotel. Now she's at the conference center where all this is taking place. She gets on a plane and flies to Nashville. This is our lives today, y'all.
That's right.
We are so, I mean, I know they say you're not supposed to multitask, but I'm so sorry. We all multitask.
Come
I'm sorry.
on. We wouldn't get anything done.
But we want you at the conference. Any way you can be there. Michelle has just made a hugely generous offer there. If that's an issue.
We don't want you to miss it.
Yeah, it's going to be really, this is the first thing, I think, in 2 years that I've really gone out.
You've done everything over Skype and Zoom.
I've done Zoom. But
a ton of that every week. So.
I will tell y'all, just prepare. I've gained a few pounds. I just want everybody to know.
I'll be
COVID pounds. Those don't count. They don't count.
They don't count. Michelle, is there anything you want to end with? Because I know you've got to get in there and meet with the rest of the group.
Yes. You know what? I just want to say, ladies, you know, don't let anything keep you from coming. I mean, even if you feel like you're like, I don't know anybody, I don't want to come alone. That's just the enemy. That's the enemy. You know us, and we will love on you, and we will be there for you. Don't let anything, don't let money, don't let people, don't let discouragement, don't let the enemy discourage you, because you know what, I'm telling you, you need to be at this event. Women come and they don't want to leave because they get fed so much, and you'll go out of that place lifted up, ready to conquer the world and rejuvenated. And if you're in the middle of transition, this is the best place you could be, because these women have transitioned over, haven't we, girls?
Over and over again.
Multiple
careers ago.
We know how to transition. Yeah.
And as Michelle always says, we need you too.
That's right.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
we need you, and there are other women there that you're going to be able to influence, that you never, and make friends that you would have never met in your whole entire life. So
Yeah.
Not only do we want you to be there for you, we need you there for us too, because we all need each other.
Amen. And if you think to Michelle's point, I think that's something so important, that don't let that ego, that voice prevent you from being there. And if you don't know someone, you'll know the three of us.
Yes.
And I'll personally meet you at the door if you tell us you're coming.
Absolutely.
I will meet you with a hug. I promise you. We'll all be there. Michelle, she probably won't be because she's going to be coordinating everything else. But I'll meet you
There'll
at the
be
door.
a fashion show. There's going to be so much going on.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss it.
I'll meet you at the door. So. Yeah.
Debbie's the meter greeter.
Yes, I'm really good at that. I'm the meter greeter. So, Michelle, thank you so much for coming on and just talking a little bit.
Love you guys.
Love you. Have a beautiful day, ladies. So great to be here.
Yes.
Thank you, Debbie.
Bye.
Yes. One thing I want to remind everyone on the chat, and I think most of you know this, but if you go to the event, it says networking. You can look there and see all the people who have registered for this. You can go in and connect with them. So please do that.
Prior to coming, because then you have instant friends.
Right. And so connect on LinkedIn, connect with Michelle, with Stacey, myself, if you're not already connected on LinkedIn. And we really want you there. So please try to be there. That's right. We'll meet you at the door with a hug.
That's right. In-person hugs.
That's
Nothing better than that.
That's
God bless you.
God bless.
Lead with your faith, family, and freedom. We love you guys.
Thank you so much, y'all. Take care. Bye-bye.